What a beautiful day. But I wonder what's gonna be happening today. Oh, the phone? What the hey? Uh-oh. Looks like rats have snuck into my territory and marked me. Well, let's get this episode started. Cue the logo. Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince. And welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Okay. Now, I know most of you are not going to be happy that I'm doing this, but I still stand by when I say that I still enjoy the Swan Princess franchise, even though several folks these days don't really enjoy its transition from paper to pixels. But still, for quite some time now, I've been hearing on the internet that there are still several other people out there who still enjoy them, and I'm glad I got to look at each movie on my blog show, from the enchanting Christmas movie, the heartwarming Royal Family Tale film, the adventurous Princess Tomorrow Pirate Today, and of course, the hardcore Royally Undercover movie. Plus, after reading the Q&A thing from the Swan Princess fans on the internet, I'm happy that Richard Rich is still keeping the series going. But anyway, today, I'll be looking at the newest addition to the Swan Princess franchise and see what it has to offer. Released to digital on March 27th and to limited DVD on April 23rd, 2018, the movie is The Swan Princess, A Royal Mystery. And yes, that's how they spelled mystery, by replacing the S with a Z. Anyway, let's get started. When a mysterious Z begins appearing as a mark on everyone in the kingdom, it is up to Odette, Derek, Elise, Lucas, and all their friends to work together to find out what it means. So, what do I think of this movie? Well, to me, it was very mysterious, no pun intended, and of course, yep, you guessed it, I enjoy this movie. But to further explain why I do, let's move on to Mustang Notes. Now, this is the first movie in the series that didn't get the proper DVD release and was primarily released to digital. However, thankfully, a limited number of DVDs are available on the Swan Princess website. The limited DVDs were released in mid-April, along with the digital release in most other countries. Also, this movie features the largest number of sidekicks used in any movie in the series, with 5 appearing in total. Plus, this movie continues the mystery theme of the Swan Princess Royally Undercover and used the same characters and locations. Also, a few months ago, director Richard Rich said, and I quote, "We have had a lot of remarks from fans saying they wanted to see more of Odette and Derek and more of a fairy tale feeling. So, in Swan Princess 8, we have done a new story built around Derek and Odette to capture the love and feelings that they had in the first film. The movie worked really well to give us a dramatic and rejuvenating love interest." And of course, I simply have to agree with Mr. Rich. Also, in my opinion, the CGI looks pretty good, and since this movie mostly takes place in the Kingdom of Borromeo, the city looks equally as grand as it was in Royally Undercover. Plus, the docks look pretty foggy, and the sewers and underground cavern looks very mysterious. Also, there are a couple parts of the movie that bring back memories from the 6th movie, due to the fact that the Boggs are back in this movie. And they do a trial in a similar style to that cooking competition that they had with Lord Rogers. Now, I guess you may be asking, where did the mysterious Z's come from? And who's responsible for marking the royal family with them? Well, I know it's not that masked Avenger from early California, whose name rhymes with my last name. And it's not Count Antonio, since it is said in this movie that he's dead. No. The Z's are being marked by sewer rats who are controlled by a mysterious man in black, whose identity I won't say until we get to the cast. And so far, the Z's have been marked on Huberta's book, Lord Roger's blueprint, Jean Bob's back, Speed's shell, Puffin's foot, Derek's shoulder, Odette's locket, King Sebastian's garden, and Number 9's tapestry. Now, here's we come to the songs in the movie. The first song in the film is called Man Up, sung by Odette while trying to convince Number 9 to chase some rats away. In my opinion, this song feels very reminiscent to That's What You Do for a Friend from the second Swan Princess film. Also, during the song, Odette is backed up by cat angels who I think represent Number 9's lives. Plus, am I the only one who thinks it was interesting that stage light effects were happening while the song was performed? Next is the sort of villain song, If I Were You, sung by the ex-Marquis Niccolo, who, during his time locked up, has developed a split personality, which kind of seems weird, but still, in my opinion, this song feels a tad over the top. And, like Man Up from earlier, there are stage light effects while Niccolo is singing. Also, by looking at Niccolo, he kind of reminds me of Jafar's prisoner disguise from Aladdin. Next, we come to the classic Far Longer Than Forever song. In this movie, Odette sings it in hopes that her husband Derek will make it while he's in a sinking submarine. You know, when I heard this song in this movie, I went into tears because not only was this song nostalgic, but it was just so beautiful. The last song in the movie is called After All, sung by Lexi Walker during the end credits. In my opinion, this song is a very catchy tune, and it has a good beat that may make you want to dance along with it. Anyway, now that we're done with Mustang notes, animation, and songs, let's move on to the characters and the voice actors who brought them to life. Our main lead and Swan Princess, Odette, sadly is not voiced by Laura Bailey this time. Probably due to the fact that she had a baby recently. So instead, she's voiced by Nina Herzog, who got to be in a film called Boot. And, in my opinion, Nina does a pretty good job voicing and singing as Odette. And I'm sure the original Odette, Michelle Nicastro, may she rest in peace, would bow to her superior voice acting. Anyway, to me, it feels wonderful to have Odette back as the main lead again after 4 years. Also, Odette is determined to find out who the Man in Black is and put a stop to him from threatening her and her family. Also, I like Odette's new outfit in this film. Plus, The parts where she gets disgusted around rats, I can deeply understand, because rats are the grossest animals around. Next we have Odette's husband, Prince Derek, again voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, who got to be in Ben 10 Alien Force and Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo. In this film, Derek is a target for the Man in Black, and I can't believe that this movie marks the 4th time Derek almost got killed. The last 3 times were from poisoned darts in Royal Family Tale, quicksand in The Secret of the Castle, and during his rematch with Rothbart in the Swan Princess Christmas. Anyway, throughout this movie, Derek almost gets hit by a chandelier, gets trapped in the sewers, and of course, he nearly drowns in a sinking submarine. However, I felt that Derek was very brave when he went to save Elise and Lucas from a huge scale that was dangling over a huge pit. Next we come to Odette and Derek's daughter, Elise, and her friend Lucas, voiced by Jaden Isabel and Grant Durazo. Now, while they're not main characters in this film, I still think they're a great team. Plus, I think they're lucky to be the only ones not marked with a Z, unless you count the tulips that Lucas planted in King Sebastian's garden. Anyway, I like the part where they used light code, just like in Royally Undercover, and the part where they spray at a bog ghost named Hunch with deodorant and place a tracker on his leg. However, the part where they were held prisoner underground made me scared, and it brought back memories from when Elise was kidnapped by Scullions in Royal Family Tale. Next we come to our animal sidekicks, Jean-Bob, Speed, and Puffin, voiced by Clayton James, Gardner Jass, and Doug Stone. As usual, these guys not only support Odette and Derek, but they mostly support Rogers along with Elise and Lucas. For example, Speed uses a tapper to send the light code to Lucas, Puffin uses a mirror on his head while he flies high to reflect the light between Lucas and Rogers, and Jean-Bob temporarily becomes a ghost in order to scare Hunch into letting Scully free. Next we come to Queen Uberta, voiced by Jennifer Miller. In this movie, Uberta has written a book called Queen U to the Rescue, where she details a fictional account of how she saved the kingdom from Count Antonio and saw through his fake proposal for marriage. In my opinion, that's pretty interesting that Uberta would write a story like that. Also, during her book tour, she was very sweet with the children who asked for her autograph. We also have Lord Rogers, voiced by Joseph Adrano, who got to be in Decisions. In this movie, Rogers has been a very busy character. For example, Rogers has made a blueprint of how Count Antonio's submarine works, so that he could use it for good in the future. Plus, Rogers made a glass jar used for holding ghosts, since, in this film, glass is the only thing that ghosts can't get through. Plus, his said jar can make objects temporarily transparent like a ghost. Man, If anything, Rogers might make a great member of the Ghostbusters. Next up we have Scully, also voiced by Joseph Madrano. In this movie, while he's helping Odette and the gang track down the Man in Black, he's being hunted down by Hunch, who wishes to capture Scully for helping Elise, Lucas, Jean-Bob, Speed, and Rogers escape Bog Island while they were shipwrecked in the 6th movie. Also, in my opinion, Scully is still a great character as he was in the previous films. Plus, he's very crafty, and he was a real lifesaver when he prevented Derek from getting hit by a chandelier. Next we come to King Sebastian, voiced by Joey Latsko, who got to voice Bromley in the Swan Princess Christmas and Royal Family Tale, and just recently voiced Trapper the Raccoon in The Son of Bigfoot. And Joey is the current voice of Jiminy Cricket in Kingdom Hearts Recoded. Now, like in Royally Undercover, Sebastian is a kind ruler, and in this movie, Sebastian is delighted that Elise and Lucas planted tulips in his garden so that everyone in his kingdom can have a bouquet. Later on, Sebastian shows Derek a statue of Niccolo and Antonio. Below the statue was a plaque that showed Antonio's last name, Zambrano, which may be a clue to the mysterious Z's. Next we have Sebastian's cat, number 9, aka Jasper, voiced by David Lodge, who got to voice the Forbidden Arts in A Royal Family Tale and got to voice in Happily Never After 2. In this film, number 9 is assigned by Sebastian to help Odette track down the Man in Black by following the rats, despite the fact that 9 may be the only cat who is musophobic, fear of rats. However, I wonder how Odette can trust 9 after he nearly ruined Christmas for her and her family. Did Elise tell her about what happened in Royally Undercover? I guess we'll never know. Also, when 9 meets Scully, he's not so easily freaked out. Maybe 9 isn't afraid of ghosts anymore due to his time working with Rothbart. Next we come to the ex-Marquis Niccolo, also voiced by David Lodge. Now, as I said earlier, it's strange, but a tad common that he developed a split personality, and that his song was a tad over the top. But anyway, throughout this movie, Niccolo is obsessing over Queen Uberta's book, and he convinced Derek and Odette that Count Antonio is back for revenge. Later on, after Odette and Derek saved Elise and Lucas from the scale, it is revealed that Niccolo was the Man in Black all along, and the rats helped him mark Derek and his friends and family for revenge. Niccolo also said that Queen Uberta's book helped him learn who was responsible for his imprisonment. And of course, the Z's were actually N's. Also, I just can't believe that Niccolo would attempt to almost kill Derek by drowning him in a sinking submarine. Our only new character in this movie is Hunch, a bog ghost voiced by Tobias Booker, who also voices the bog leader, Nums. Anyway, as I said earlier, mostly throughout this movie, Hunch is seen chasing after Scully, and he plans to punish him for saving Elise, Lucas, Speed, Jean-Bob, and Rogers from Bog Island. In my opinion, Hunch acts like a serious bounty hunter, and he's very skilled with a ghost rope and with invisibility. But nearing the end of the movie, Hunch helps Scully save Derek from sinking by scaring a rat so he can jump onto a lever, and of course later lets Scully go free. And now, let's move on to my final words. Overall, The Swan Princess, A Royal Mystery is a pretty good movie. Not as good as Royally Undercover, but still, it's good in its own way. It has an engaging mystery story, a few parts of the movie are nostalgic, and the CGI has deeply improved. Plus, I'm happy that Odette has a lead role in this movie after 4 years. Plus, Odette's husband Derek, while being a target, was still a brave prince. Elise and Lucas are pretty much thick as thieves. The other side characters like Speed, Puffin, Jean-Bob, Number 9, Lord Rogers, and Scully are all fantastic and memorable. And of course, having Niccolo as the villain was quite a surprise, even though someone on YouTube who stole footage from 2 of my blogs kinda gave it away. Anyway, I don't know how many copies are left, but if you folks are interested in getting a DVD copy of this movie, then by all means, order it from this website here. And trust me, you and your family will have a good time with this movie. And I give it a 74% out of 100. But if you think the Swan Princess franchise is over, think again. Because I hear there's going to be a 9th movie next year where Elise and Lucas will be teenagers. Which makes me pray that they'll become a couple when it happens. Anyway, that's it for today, everyone. Be sure to join me for my next blog. Mustang Power.